So we can go on to our next topic, and with this next topic is really, really interesting. So we'll do stuff a little different. So Ace King Offsuit, I almost said Offsuite, but Ace King Offsuit, he gave out a tweet that basically said, all right, everybody, it's the end of the year, just go ahead and get it off your chest. What's your hottest fighting game takes you got right now? And so everybody flooded his comments with some hot fighting game takes. So we're gonna respond to some of these hot fighting game takes that that people put up, and we're gonna give them to the and we're gonna give them to the panel, and everybody gives their opinion. You know, and they well, you know, we kind of late on this, so they really don't even know what I'm gonna say. So, you know, we'll get some shock value out of this too. So X Factor is the dumbest mechanic ever put into a fighting game. Go, Devin.
I agree. I can't sit here and deny that. I agree. X Factor, you lose a character in 3 hits. I can't disagree. Level 3 Virgin X Factor, you dead. That's all I gotta say.
I would. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I don't think it's the dumbest mechanic in the game. I think the dumbest mechanic in the game is that Goji stuff from Fighting EX Lair. I think that is the dumbest mechanic in the game. Like I think I mentioned this before. You start hitting an enemy and they do like a do something. All of a sudden now they don't take hit stun from your attacks. They're just like, you start hearing like a metal sound, plink plink plink, and they're like this, and then you get hit in the face like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, man, I think that's the worst. So no, I don't agree with that.
Oh, this one's about to be spicy. Philly is a Marvel city. Before anything else, Philly will always be a Marvel city. I am sick and tired of seeing level 3 X Factor insert character here. That mechanic can go. Do you know how many times I've seen level 3 Hawkeye, level 3 Doom, level 3 Virgil? I like V-Trigger more than I like X Factor. That's all I gotta say about it.
Wow.
Our next one is, someone says, stun is a horrible mechanic and should be changed.
I'm gonna disagree. I ain't gonna say it's a horrible mechanic. If you think about it, it's like, okay, you get to beat up on me for free. But if you think about it, somebody would have like dazed you, hit you enough, and knock you out, you would be kind of stunned, you know. So I guess maybe they were trying to be like realistic with it. I think the only fighting game that I think that has stun is Street Fighter that I recall that I can think of. I wouldn't say it's a dumb mechanic, but I mean, you just don't get hit. That's all I can say. Don't get hit.
I would say that, yeah, I agree that it's not really like, I mean, I just don't see any problem with it. Like he said, like the man said, I mean, if you get smacked up a whole bunch of times, you think you're just gonna stand there and be like, oh, I'm just fine. Yeah, you think that, but you're like, look like you're about to keel over. Yeah, man. I mean, you're gonna get dazed if you get hit in the face enough times. I mean, the only thing, I mean, like they have, they also have the stun thing in Guilty Gear. Like if you get hit too many times, yeah, you also get stunned in there. But the thing is like the way you do it, just hit them one time. You can't land one hit on this person. They're beating the crap. Just hit them one time. Kick them in the leg. Just throw out a jab. Do something. Stop getting hit.
Okay, stun. I like stun. Don't get hit, forehead. Like, it's honestly that simple. Like, if you get hit and you get stunned, bro, it's on you. But the big thing is, like, stun has, like, such heavy scaling. Unless you get stunned by a command grab, which we should live in a world without command grabs. I'm gonna say that now.
Oh, hey.
But seriously, it's like stun scales so hard where it's like, if you get stunned, the damage that comes from it isn't really all that crazy. It's more or less the scenario that follows. Unless you're playing like an Arxis game, well, you're probably dead, dude. Just back it up. But in most cases, if you're getting stunned and you're complaining about stun, don't get hit, forehead. They're like, really? Hold back. The back button is free. Like, just hold up on the command grab. Hold back if you're scared to get swung on. Like, it's simple, dude.
All right, so our next one we have is, all grapplers should have at least one 0-frame super throw. Go, Devin.
Not that long side.
I disagree. That's all I'm gonna say. I disagree, and whoever tweeted this should have their Twitter account banned and their IP address flagged from making another Twitter account. That is all I have to say.
I 100% disagree with Devin, and I agree with that statement that all the grapplers should have that throw. I think that is very necessary. Like I said, like I always say, my Twitter handle is listed right here. My DMs are open. That's all I gotta say about that, man.
0 frame super command grabs. Every super command grab should have enough time where I could go have a nice 5-star dinner, come back, and it's still recovering. Whoever wrote this tweet, you're a second-rate duelist with a third-rate deck. Your character deserves to be nerfed.
Wow.
Your forehead big. I'm gonna go and talk to the developer about getting your character removed from the game. Don't you spit that blasphemy out here. I don't want to hear none of that.
Oh my goodness.
That was hilarious. Our next one we have, someone says footsies are overrated. Oftentimes players put too much time and thought into it. Go, David.
Oh boy.
I disagree with this. Footsies are overrated. Oh, this was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Just don't get hit. I don't know what to say on this one. Footsies are overrated. Like, this is obviously a person that's not competitive, honestly. Like, because you have to understand footsies at some level, and if you just go in there wild and swinging, you're going to get whiff punished into Kingdom Come. So maybe you should put more consideration in the footsies, because you're going to get bopped if you don't.
Yeah, man. What? Footsies are overrated? I'm not even sure I completely understand this statement. No. Like obviously you're having problems with footsies. I suggest going back to the start and perhaps reconsidering your stance. Get good, man. That's all I can say.
Footsies is overrated. You know what comes to mind when somebody says that? I don't know if y'all watch The Simpsons, but there was this scene where Bart and Lisa were fighting, where it's like, I'm gonna swing my arms like this, and if you get hit, it's your fault. That's what I feel like this person thinks of when they're like, footsies is overrated. Because you say that, right? You say that footsies is overrated, and you throw out something real dumb, and then you're gonna look real silly watching this combo video for like the next 20 seconds. I'm gonna need you to go to your mobile device or go to Steam, right? I'm gonna need you to spend $4 and download this game called Footsies by High Fight, and then I want you to like spend a week on it, and then come back and then look at the tweet and say, you know what? I think I made a mistake. Because when you get hit by a light kick and the special cancel into knockdown, you feel powerful. Because you look at your opponent, you done goofed. I deserve this, and now you got to play my game for the rest of the game.
This person says Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite played better than Marvel 3. Capcom just managed to make it suck in everything else. Go ahead, Devin.
This take is spicy.
Can I phone a friend on this one?
All right, Julio Fuertes, that's all you.
Yeah, you can call yourself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I'm gonna say I disagree. I do. To me, I feel like MVCI played well. To me, it actually felt like the inputs and the way like the attacks work felt a little more like Marvel 2, because they brought back instead of like the light, medium, heavy, it was more the light attack, light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. So that to me that felt more like Marvel 2 in a sense, but I say overall Marvel played better. Like it was a better game. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, look, I felt that MVCI was missing a layer. MVCI was like a painting that was missing like 1 or 2 layers. If it had those extra layers, it would have been fine. But without those, what we got is what we got. So I don't even sit there and be like, yeah, Marvel Infinite. Nah, MVC3 was better. So we just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was definitely better than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I just didn't. I never felt, even when I was like getting my butt kicked, which was very often in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I had a good time. I don't really felt. I never felt like I was having a good time playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I just didn't feel like I was having a good time. So Yeah, nah, man. I'm gonna have to nah, man. No.
So I don't see either of these games through rose-tinted glasses. I see them for what they are. I never was a big Marvel player, but I like watching the games. Somebody hurt you, man. You need a hug. Marvel 3 was the sauce. I have literally fell asleep in a ballroom trying to watch Marvel Infinite. Marvel 3, ooh, I had a grand old time watching Doom Infinites and just watching all there's so many intricacies about the game. And it was really unique because since the game, I think they had hit spears instead of like hit boxes. It really gave you a lot of like really wonky interactions with stuff. That was interesting because if these players knew what they were doing and knew the interactions, you could really like exploit that. For Marvel Infinite, it was more just like whatever that like exploit or that glitch was that they had that they patched out. I don't think it was a hit stun deterioration or something like that. It was something crazy where like it created like infinite. That was really like the hype of it. But Marvel versus Capcom at its core is about jank. It's about the chaos, and there wasn't enough of it in Infinite. Marvel 3, anything could happen, man, and that's really what the selling point was about it.
All right, so our next hot take that we have is Elena did nothing wrong in Ultra Street Fighter 4. And to add on to this, he says healing is a bad Ultra. It does no damage. So, go on with your take, Devin.
I agree. I mean, what did she do? She's played Street Fighter. She entered. She was in the tournament. She was a character selectable. What did she do wrong? She was not here dive kicking like the two twins and throwing people around. She wasn't doing that. She was just flipping and doing her thing as a little Nubian princess or whatever. She's fine. Healing, that makes sense, right? If I'm out here getting hit, I wanna get my life back. That makes sense, right? I'm taking damage. Why would I not want to heal myself? It don't do no damage. It's not like I'm hitting. It's not like I'm healing myself and it's hurting you at the same time. And if it's ultra, if I got double ultra, it does even less healing.
I want to check something real quick.
Hey man, she just wanted to play with the other people. She did nothing wrong. I agree.
I'm not sure why like that would be a bad ultra, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe I just don't get it. But I didn't play Elena, and I was pretty much like out of Street Fighter 4 by the time before Ultra Street Fighter hit. But I'm kind of like, if we're playing a match and we're both about to die, and I heal myself, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem for you. That's a problem for you, because like now you got to work harder to kill me because I just got my health back. And it's like, oh well, maybe I might hit you with my ultra. I'm like, you might, or you might not. You might not hit me with an ultra. And I mean, like all that other stuff that you thought you were gonna. Oh man, I just gotta go in and tap him in the foot real quick. A small breeze will knock him over. Oh, healing. Oh, never mind. That is completely. Now I'm on the back foot. Geez. Oh man, he's got another. Now he can come in here and just beat my butt, man, because I got no health left. And it's like, because I mean, I could go ham, man. You don't know. And now I know you're desperate. I know you're desperate now. Your fingers itching. Like, oh man, I have to wake up ultra or something like that. You put somebody in a position where they're like, now they're making like bad decisions and stuff just because you got more help than they do. Because like the thing about this, even in this case, like especially in a case like this, you're all both at the other side, other end of the screen, and the time is about to go out, and then you use an ultra that heals you, and now I'm about to win by timeout.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Come on, man. That's awesome. I mean, you're most often, I feel like you're about to lose. The match is about to be over anyway, so you might as well just hit that thing and sit there and turtle up in the corner and just wait for the time to run out, baby.
I'm gonna back this by math. So I played a lot of Street Fighter 4, like Ultra Street Fighter 4, and that was like really when I started to dive into the game. I'm gonna back this statement by math. Elena had 950 health and 900 stun, which is the health value is a little slightly more average for a female in Street Fighter, but the stun is about the same. Now, if Elena, in a perfect world, this is assuming that in a match, Elena can do healing 3 times, which is viable, given that healing gives you your health back, which means take more hits, You can build more meter. Elena would heal enough health to have a larger health pool than Zangief, the character with the most health in the game.
Wow.
If you do the math, she actually has a larger health pool than him. He's a grappler. I'm all for black excellence. Let's start there. But the simple fact that small Nubian girl has more health than this big Russian bear, that is ridiculous. And the cheese part about Elena with healing, if she does back throw into healing, you can't tech from a throw. Like, you have to just sit there for the whole duration of the throw. You just watch healing on the other side of the screen, and her health bar is just going slowly up, and you're just stuck there on the ground watching the health bar go slowly up. The Ultra doesn't have to do damage to be good. The twins, they had an Ultra that was an install, made them ridiculous. Well, a Super or an Ultra, depending. You don't have to do damage to make an Ultra good. You just turn the tides in your favor. That character, at the end of that game's lifespan, the meta game was play your main, have a pocket Elena, or suffer.
I just want to add real quick that it was actually unfair for Elena because the move is an ultra combo and her healing doesn't even combo, so it actually was kind of unfair to her because it doesn't even combo. So I don't even know what they were thinking when they gave it to her. But now let me stop playing. Elena was busted. When she first came out, I said she was busted, and people were like, no, she's not. I'm like, watch her hurt boxes. Her hurt boxes were wonky. The crouch roundhouse was just like low profile and everything. I was like, this character's busted. No, she's not. She's not that bad. I bet. Watch what happened. Elena Fighter 4. That's what happened.
I just remembered something really important when you said that. I just remember something very important. Her stationary animation actually changed her hitbox.
Yeah. Her hitbox and her hitboxes were all over the place.
It would actually, if you looked at it with hitboxes on, her idle animation actually changed her hitbox. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, she was a big problem.
Hey man, if I do an ultra and you lose 25% or I gain 25%, what's the difference? The deficit is the same.
Exactly.
Wow.
What's the
I'm
difference?
remember that. Y'all are built different.
Laugh, man. It's basic physics.
Someone says even if King of Fighters 15 has rollback, it will not be enough to stop the wider FGC from dropping the game in a week, because that's just the reputation SNK has gained throughout the years. So, starting with you, Devin.
Ooh. Oh boy.
I'm gonna agree with that, man. It's a lot of games come out nowadays. It's just people they don't stick with them, man. And King of Fighters is kind of one of them. King of Fighters has like a niche base. Like 13 was pretty popular, and I really enjoyed 13. Like that's my favorite King of Fighters, like by far. But after a while, it just dwindled. Like after that first Evo or two, it was just like, where's Carrier 13 at? Like, so I kind of agree. I think 14 maybe revitalized it a little bit, but I still think it kind of fell by the wayside as opposed to other fighting games. And I will say the thing that kind of I think 13 would have been better because 13's actually is online wasn't that great. So maybe if it had good online with 13, it would have been like it'll just carry that momentum. But because I remember 13 having pretty bad online, it's like, well, the game is pretty good, but it's like trying to get matches and play people online and keep the community going online. It's kind of rough because you get on these matches and people teleporting and moonwalking. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So I agree with that. I think KOL 15 is probably going. It might prove me wrong, but it's probably gonna fall by the wayside.
I don't think I can. I mean, as a King of Fighters fan, I don't know if I can agree with that. And let me tell you why. My thing about it is that King of Fighters has a problem, and the problem is that SNK, like in general, like with their games, as far as I mean, feel free to disagree, but it feels like every time they come out with a game, they come out with the game for the past couple games, like let's King of Fighters 14 and Samurai Showdown. All right, so King of Fighters 14, the PC version didn't come out till long after the console version dropped, and the thing about that was they only dropped on one, like what they dropped on what PlayStation 4. I mean, did it drop on anything else like other than PC after that? I don't think so. Same with like what's called Samurai Showdown. Did Samurai Showdown drop on anything other than PS4? Maybe the Switch, but it never came to PC. We are still waiting for a PC port of Samurai Showdown. They don't
It's on
know
the
how
Epic
to.
Store.
Is it really?
They did it really dirty.
Wow.
They did that game dirty, man.
That is crazy. Because I didn't even see. That's the thing. I didn't even know they put it on PC. That they're new, one of their new IPs that they're still technically supporting. They don't like, you know what I mean. And even then, like their announcement would come. Man, now they didn't really like keep people up to speed on what was going on with the game. People lose interest, man. Like, and
Yeah.
people lose interest if you're not like, you don't have to be like all up in my face like, here's what's going on all the time, but give me like a couple, like maybe a month update or something. Like, let us know that your Twitter's not dead. Like, you know what I mean? Let us know that like stuff is going on, that people still care about the game. Because if we feel like the company doesn't care about the game, why should I? Why should anybody care about the game if you don't care about the product you created?
You're speaking nothing but truth. Me with SNK, I grew up playing like a lot of old school games. And my go-to SNK game is KOF 98. My favorite character of all time is Shermie. That is the only game I play grappler in. I love that character's aesthetic. I love her playstyle. She is great. It hurt my soul to not see Shermie after 98. I would be super happy to see another KOF game, but I already know the character that has my heart wouldn't be in it, so my heart wouldn't be in it. Would I buy the game and support it? 100%. But I am aware of SNK syndrome, and it's like a watered down NRS syndrome, and it hurts my soul because I would love to see that game thrive, a decent netcode, characters. I think the whole like team character thing is cool that they have, like all the character themes. But like you said, they're gonna drop this game, and they have a track record of here's this game, we disappear for a while. Oh, here's an update. People get excited again. They disappear for a while. I'm like, you're supposed to be a game developer, not somebody's dad, just off the face of the earth for a while. Like, yo, stay consistent. Do your thing.
Yeah,